Good morning, this is Andrew with Cornell Farms, and today we're going to talk about summer pruning an apple tree. Some of the reasons why you might want to summer prune a fruit tree are to reduce the number of leaves it have that are actively gathering energy. While this seems counterintuitive, if you have a very large tree in a small space, by pruning in the summer you reduce how much energy it has to grow in the following spring. Some tools that you're going to need are hand pruners, like these Felcos. For bigger caliper branches, you might need a set of loppers. And for something that the loppers can't handle, you would need a saw. Anything that you can't cut with this, you should probably leave to an arborist. Additionally, you would want some isopropyl alcohol at a 70% dilution to keep all your tools clean. And then also some hemp string for training branches. When I'm looking at this tree for shape, we can see that fruit weight and its growth from the season has left it very downward as opposed to these nice strong upward angles. Some of this we can correct through pruning by taking weight off nice and close to the bud, and you can see how that bounces up a bit. This is a nice 45-degree angle that encourages better fruit development. On other branches, like this one over here, we might consider using our twine to secure it into a better shape. You want to be careful not to tie tightly around any one branch, as that can girdle it as the tree grows. So nice big loops. And if we leave the string in here, in a season or two, this shape will become permanent. You can also shorten these a bit to an outward facing bud to encourage nice bushy growth. In the case of apples, they set fruit on fruit spurs and will continue setting fruit on those same fruit spurs for 10 years. So no matter what you're doing, preserving fruit spurs is very important. Just going to do a couple more cuts here. For such a young tree, we really don't have to do all that much. These are some nice angles. We do not need this vertical growth. Go ahead and cut that off. Or downward growth. As you can see, I'm just methodically going around. What I would encourage you to do is to start with training from the highest branches to the lowest. As we make space here, we then can make space here, and then we can make space at the lower parts. Only after you dedicate some time to training would I switch over to cutting off pieces. As always, we want to stick to about a 30% budget of the tree. That is, we don't want to cut off more than a third of the tree in any particular area. Otherwise, it responds in a not so great way. Whenever you're pruning on a branch, you want to make sure to cut up against a bud as opposed to in the middle. If I cut there and leave this nub, this is just going to die back and become a harbinger for pest and disease. So carefully, I cut up against a bud, making sure not to cut into it, and that minimizes any infestations that may occur. Other important bit is if we cut to a bud that's inward facing, the branches are going to grow inward. So we want to make sure to cut to a bud that's outward facing so we encourage nice outward growth. That's about it for today.